Hello, my name is Agatha. My email is uniazat@gmail.com, and I'm here to talk about a tiny little bit about Ariel, the mermaid. The little mermaid. I'm 45 years old. Yes, I was born in 1973 in Portugal. So I'm a Portuguese person. My hair is stupid. When I was a kid, I used to watch, things, cartoons and all of that on TV. And I remember that I liked a lot anything connected with, Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. I don't know if it's from Disney, but I love those cartoons. I love them. And also watched in Portuguese or in other languages, subtitled, stories, children's stories, from the Grimm brothers and from other authors. There's one guy, Hans Christian Andersen. He was really popular. He's still popular. I think he was a Danish writer from the 19th century. I'm sorry about my hair. And he wrote stories for kids that were depressing. Okay, that really everything is really depressing. And I remember like any story connected with that Hans Christian Andersen had written. There's like something. Many of them ended up badly. Okay, but I was kind of used to seeing stories for kids on TV that ended well, like the prince and the princess, and there's like some sort of, not from him, okay, not from him, but from other sources. There's some sort of trouble, and then the trouble gets resolved, and they end up together, and they live happily ever after. I remember that, I remember watching that when I was a kid. And these were not productions from Disney. These were from, I don't know, other, not necessarily from Disney. I don't really remember seeing all those many Disney films. Like I said, I'm 45 years old. So this happened like in the 80s. In the 80s, that I recall, what did I watch? I don't remember seeing a lot of Disney movies. When I was 10, I saw The Little Mermaid. So in the 80s, I think I was 10. I don't know, it's between 8 and 10. I think I was around 10, something like that. So 73, 83, beginning of the 80s. There is no, I think the Ariel, the Little Mermaid from Disney was made in the 90s or something like that. I never actually saw that one. And, Dios, my hair. What's wrong with my hair? Anyway, I saw the story that was really close to the original story written by Hans Christian Andersen. That's the story that I saw as maximum as a 10-year-old on television. And that was the first time that I cried so much over a children's story. I don't remember crying after that, but I remember that I cried. Why did I cry? Because I saw the proper version. Okay? I'm going to tell you about the proper version of The Little Mermaid. Okay? My challenge? Yeah, challenge. I would like to challenge Disney. If they're redoing The Little Mermaid, I don't care about how Ariel looks like. I really don't. My challenge to Disney would be follow the story properly, including the end. Okay? Just like Hans Christian Andersen wrote it. And then show it to kids. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. What did I see? I saw a little mermaid. She was in love with a statue of a young man, and I don't know if she was 15 or 16, and she could not go up to the surface. Only when she turned, I don't know if it's 15 or 16, she was allowed to go up to the surface for the first time, and she couldn't wait to do it because she had other sisters, and her sisters were older, and they were allowed to go up to the surface. And finally, she has her birthday, and she goes up, and it's a storm. It's during a storm, and there's a ship, and that ship, goes down, and she saves a young man who looks like the statue that she used to admire. I might be confusing things because this is a long time ago. So she saves a young man. She brings him up to the beach, and then she has to go. She has to flee because there's people arriving in the beach. And when he opens his eyes, he doesn't see her. He sees other people. He never sees her. He has no idea that she saved him. So she's really much in love with this guy, and she goes to the witch. And even I don't remember if she asked the opinion of her sisters or something like that, and if she was discouraged. I think so, but she goes to the witch because she wants legs. She wants legs so she can be with the prince, and be with him and have a life with him. So the witch says, okay, I'll give you legs, but you have to give me your voice. You have to give me your voice. And there's no way you can tell him that you love him. He needs to tell you. And there's like a limited time period where he can fall in love with her and tell her, and she can never tell him. Otherwise, she doesn't go back to be a mermaid. No. That doesn't happen. You know what happens if he, the prince, doesn't fall in love with her? It doesn't tell her. Well, she gets to be turned into a bubble, a bubble on the ocean, and she'll be another spy for the witch, because all the bubbles in the oceans are the spies for this witch. That's what happens. That's what she's gambling on. And she can never tell him in any way that she loves him. She accepts this. She got her legs, and anyway, she ends up living in his castle, and he looks at her kind of like a younger sister. He doesn't have any type of romantic feelings towards her, and meanwhile, time is passing by. Okay, time is passing by, and there's nothing, from his side. And he is going to be wedded with someone else, with a princess from another land. And when he weds this princess from another land, when he marries her, of course the little mermaid is like her heart is breaking. And I'm 10 and I'm watching this. Okay, I am 10 watching this. Okay, so in the day of the wedding at night, which is, I think, the last day for the prince to tell the little mermaid that he loves her, that's not gonna happen. He just married another woman. Okay, the little mermaid knows that, oh, she's a goner. That's it. So her sisters come and visit her and tell her, there's a way for you to get out of this. Okay, there's a way. We went to the witch, and the witch gave us this knife, and you have to kill them both. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to kill them both in order to go back being a princess. Go back being a mermaid. That's what you have to do. Otherwise, you get turned into the little bubble in the ocean. So the little mermaid takes a knife, and at night she goes to the room where the prince and the princess now married are asleep, and she can't do it. She can't kill them. I don't know if it's just him or both of them. I thinking maybe it's both of them, but she can't do it. And so she exits the room and she gets turned into a bubble on the ocean. The end. That's it. That's the version that I saw when I was 10 years old. Okay? So, Disney, do that version. I don't care how Ariel looks like. She can be from Mars. She can be green. I don't care. Do that version. I dare you. Do that version. I'm joking, don't do it. Don't do it. Can you imagine a bunch of kids on the theaters screaming and crying? Because that's what happened to me. I'm like, that's it? Oh my god, I cried so much. And I wasn't happy with, and that was for kids, okay, because it followed really close the Hans Christian Andersen who wrote this, okay. People from the north, they're always depressing. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't all that happy with this version, and I knew that Hans Christian Andersen had written it, so I wanted to read what he had written. And I don't know when or how, but I found the book. I don't know if I went to the library or something like that. I found the book and I read the end. I wanted to know what was the end. Maybe the ending, it wasn't like this. It was there was a little bit difference in the ending, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I haven't checked this. In the ending, what the author wrote was that God saw the sacrifice of the little mermaid, saw that, and he was so touched that he gave the little mermaid a soul. So she doesn't get transformed into a bubble, but she rises up to the heavens because now she has a soul, and mermaids didn't have a soul. But this one has a soul. So she goes up to heaven. She's not a bubble in the ocean. She's not a spy for the witch. She has a soul. She goes up to God, to heavens. And again, me as a kid, I'm reading that and like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She doesn't get the prince. She doesn't. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm really not satisfied with this. Like, I don't like what I saw, and I don't like the original version. I don't like any of this. So when Disney came up with their version, I never saw it. It was in the 90s. I mean, I didn't care anymore. But I remember that. Now as an adult, it's interesting and it's laughable. But I still remember the pain and how much I cried, because that was the first time that in children's stories there was no happy ending. Not the way that I saw it. Not like the main character doesn't get the prince. Somebody else gets the prince. So it's interesting to me recalling that. I don't exactly know what version I saw. I don't know if it was in Portuguese. I don't know if it was in English or something like that, and it was subtitled. I don't remember. Well, that's my experience with The Little Mermaid when I was 10. There's other stories that I saw, and that I cannot say that I have a favorite story when I was a kid. There's a few stories that I like. This one kind of stuck with me. Because of the ending, okay? Because of the ending. In terms of stories that I liked, that I absolutely loved, it was one that was a series, and it was called Candy Candy. I love that. I love that so much. So if you are a kid from the 80s, hey, Maybe you know who Candy Candy was. I loved Candy Candy. Okay, that was my favorite one. Favorite one to this day. Still my favorite one. So that's my experience with The Little Mermaid. Tell me yours. Did you see this version that I'm speaking of? Okay. So that's it. Bye bye.